without further ado, I would love to bring our next guest speaker up to share with us his message, and that is our very own Sensei, Dave Armstrong. Dave, are you there? Fantastic. Oh my goodness, I am so excited to see you, Dave. And welcome to the screen. Welcome to our conversation. Dave, take it away, please.
Rich, thank you so much, brother. I appreciate you. Ola, thank you for inviting me over here. I hope that I come on and I can inspire a little bit. That's the premise of why I'm here today, is to inspire. So as I'm speaking over the next 10 minutes or so, I want you to be thinking, what are you offering? What are you offering? This message is directly for parents, family members, as well as mentors. What are you offering? So let that resonate in the back of your mind a little bit as we talk. Look, I was part of 2 gangs over my lifetime. I was part of probably the biggest gang in the world for 24 years. That's the military in the United States. So yeah, I was in the U.S. Air Force actually for 24 years, but that wasn't with a lot of challenge, a lot of struggle, a lot of turmoil coming up in California, in Los Angeles, in the Inland Empire, in San Bernardino, where it's gang infested. And so part of the normality was to be in a gang, or to be gang affiliated, or to be in a set, or to claim I was a Crip. To claim something. And so I want to talk about, what are you offering as an alternative to being in a gang? So it's our parents' responsibility, it's our family members' responsibility, it's our community's responsibility, it's the mentor's responsibility to offer an alternative. Because if there's no alternative, why wouldn't I join a gang? Why wouldn't your neighbor who has a 15-year-old, a 16-year-old, a 17-year-old young man, why wouldn't he join a gang? You haven't provided an alternative. I hope that makes sense. See, we all want to belong. All of us. Dr. Vassing talked about some of the reasons why kids join gangs. Rich, you talked about Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And so look, if my need for a sense of belonging, a sense of community, a sense of acceptance is not being met, why wouldn't I join a gang? Part of being in a gang is selling drugs. Part of being in a gang is robbing. Part of being in a gang is not seeking your why. What do I mean by your why? Finding out what you can be great at. Not good, great at. Most kids in the inner city, most kids growing up in this environment never know what they're great at. Why? Because you as a parent, you as a mentor, you as a neighbor, you as aunt, uncle, never offered them an alternative. You never said, you know what, I'm gonna fund soccer practice this year for you to see if you like it, if you're good. I'm gonna fund ballet. I'm gonna fund gymnastics. I'm gonna fund whatever, acting lessons. I'm gonna do it for you. You never gave them a reason why not to join a gang. So of course they're robbing you. Of course they're destroying the community. Of course. Why wouldn't they? They have nothing. So when you have nothing, you seek something. A lot of us take the path of least resistance. So why wouldn't you join a gang? It's the path of least resistance. So again, let that resonate in the back of your minds. What are you offering? What are you doing? You personally, what are you doing today, tomorrow, next week, next year, to provide an alternative for a young man or young woman in a community, not necessarily your community. Maybe you were just born. Look, we're just born into whatever, right? We're just born. If you're born into Africa, you're African. If you're born into Puerto Rico, you're Puerto Rican. If you're born wherever, If you're born into an affluent neighborhood, rich parents, poor parent, you're just born there. Doesn't matter. So I ask you, if you happen to be born into something that's a little bigger than someone else that just wasn't, like myself, like a lot of other people, provide an alternative. The best alternative you can provide is yourself. Not your money, yourself. You showing up in somebody's life is the best alternative you can provide. And when you show up, I want you to be thinking about one thing, figuring out what their why is. Because when a kid has a why, when a kid enjoys doing something, I enjoyed martial arts. I'll tell you a quick story. My martial arts instructor, I grew up in boys' homes, group homes, juvenile detention. My mom died when I was 12 years old. I didn't have any family, anyone that wanted me. Why? Because I shot my stepfather. He used to beat me and my mom. I didn't kill him, thank God. But he used to beat the hell out of me and my mom. And so one day I got sick of it. He was beating my mom. I shot him. They took me from the house and they put me in a boys' camp for 2 years. After the boys' camp, well, while I was at the boys' camp, my mom died. After the boys' camp, I had nowhere to go. Why do I tell that story? Because I was in a boys' home, a group home for boys, and my martial arts instructor, Sensei Otto Johnson, 6'10", huge guy, 250 pounds, fast as lightning, bah! Right? He saved my life. He was one of the reasons why I ended up owning 3 martial arts schools, mentoring thousands of youth, why I opened up a martial arts mentoring program for at-risk youth. Him, one person that showed up and offered me something else. Offered me, what are you offering? Offered me an alternative to running the streets, to hanging out with my friends that weren't doing anything for themselves, to selling drugs. He offered me an alternative. And I happened to be great at it. Not good, great at it. It resonated with me. So there it went. Pow! Martial arts and Dave. That's why I insist on people calling me Sensei Dave. I earned several black belts. I bled for them. I scrubbed floors for them. I taught thousands of people to have that title. But why? Because one person showed up in my life and just got involved and helped me explore myself in something that I was great at. And I'm telling you, when you, as an adult, show up for a young person and help him or her explore what they're great at, boy, I didn't want to run the streets anymore. I wanted to be in the dojo training. Martial arts saved my life. I could speak forever. I'm a professional speaker, so I won't speak forever. But I will wrap up with this. Look, as we said at the beginning, offer something. What are you offering? Of course they're running the streets. Of course they're robbing you. Of course. Why wouldn't they? You haven't given them an alternative. Something else to see. Something to be. There were plenty of people that came into my life, and you could be this, you could be, I don't want to be an astronaut. I don't care about space. Right? I don't want to be this, I don't want to be that. Figure out what they're great at. Everyone has something. Everyone has something that they're going, wow, I like this, I'm interested in it. Figure out what they're great at. Show up, and boy, you're going to change some lives. Love you guys. Peace.
Wow. Wow, Dave. Sensei Dave. Oh my goodness. That was incredible. Do you know, we shared the screen a couple of times, and every time, you know, we come on screen together and we see your incredible, beautiful smile, and then your energy, like you keep bam! I think you're faster than me at the bam, so I need to work on my bam. But hey, that comes from a black belt. I have no black belt. But I tell you what, your message resonates so deeply with so many, and it doesn't take much, does it, to just show up. The world today needs role models to show up. Show up and
Let me just interject real quick, Rich. And you know what? A lot of people, I that's what I do. I mentor people that are mentoring young people, right? I help them those people out. Let me tell you, you have it as an adult. You have it in you. You have it. There's so much self doubt that we're just filled with in life in general. And a lot of mentors, a lot of adults go, well, me, what do I have to? You have a lot to offer. You have a lot to offer. So show up. Just do it.
I'm so grateful that you showed up today. I'm so grateful for all of our speakers today who showed up to share their message. Because that's what it takes. It takes a few moments, a decision, an instant to say yes to an incredible invitation where young people around the world, boys, are saying yes to some poor decisions. And here we are helping support them. And with that, I would love to say once again, thank you, Sensei Dave Armstrong, for your incredible message.